I'm Frank Moyo, and you're watching the Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian. Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian.
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 Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian. Woo!
All right, Frank Moyo. Bello.
Hey, what's up?
This is a long time coming.
It is. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy you invited me out.
Yeah, of course. Happy to have you on for sure.
Yeah.
Without co-host today, Sabino.
Unfortunately, he's missed, but we could hold it down, us two.
I think we could do it. Sabino, we miss you. He's in Italy right now, La Bella Vita.
Yeah.
That's where I wish I was.
Where's he in?
Salerno, Sanza.
Salerno, good.
Sanza,
I'm going
his
to be in
parents' hometown.
Sicily in like 2 days, so
Nice.
maybe Sicily-Salerno connection. We'll see.
Yeah, it's not too far. It's like a 2-hour plane ride, I think.
Yeah. I actually
what-
rented a car, so maybe I'll even drive up, so...
Yeah.
see.
Well, I got to ask this because I've seen your content for years now. Your come up has been amazing.
Thank
Super
you.
proud of you, bro.
Thank
what
you
you're doing
so
is
much.
great.
I appreciate it.
Is Moyo your last name?
Moyo is my
Yeah.
last name.
Okay.
Moyo, M-O-Y-O, is not my last name.
Okay.
So I spell it Moyo because people would just like not pronounce my name properly. It's
Okay.
actually Moyo. So M-U-O-I-O. Like
Okay.
Moyo, like sto like morendo. Moyo,
Yeah.
Moyo per te, I'm dying for you.
Right.
So I changed it to M-O-Y-O, and it's actually a pretty funny story. I used to work in a grocery store, and one of the workers that I worked with was like Swahili. She spoke Swahili language. I was
Okay.
like, all right. She's like, your last name sounds a lot like the word Moyo. I'm like, that's exactly how you pronounce it. And it means heart and soul. So I'm like, you know what? That's pretty nice. And it's actually the same way you pronounce it, so people won't get messed up. But now I do these shows and everything, and everyone's like, you're not Italian. I'm like, I'm like, my parents were born in Italy. I'm pretty Italian. It's just, they get confused. So I don't know. Got to figure something out with that.
Yeah, because the Y, there's no Y in the Italian
No,
alphabet.
absolutely
That's
not.
why I was thrown off a bit. I was like, okay, I
No.
wonder if he's something else. Or
And even in the shows that I do, like in Italy or whatever, they're like, Moyo, what is this? Cos'è questo cognome? Like, Moyo. I'm like, Moyo. Moyo. Yeah, so.
it all makes sense at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But you can't go back now.
No.
You're Moyo forever.
No,
You're
no,
Y.
it's done. It's over.
done. What's done is
I
done.
branded it, so we're good.
All right, let's talk about your Italian background.
Yes.
You're Calabrese, right?
I am.
Full Calabrese?
Both my parents are from Cosenza in
Oh, okay.
Calabria, yes.
Beautiful. And Calabria is right below Salerno.
Yeah, so below Napoli and then going towards Sicily. It's the last part of the boot that before you go into the island there, Sicily.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
And from what I've seen, you're very passionate Italo-Canadese.
Yes.
Especially Calabrese.
Yeah, of course.
So where's that passion come from?
I'm
man?
super tied to my roots. I love being Italian-Canadian, but I also love even more being Calabrese because for me, growing up in my family and everything and like growing up with these values of like maintaining, the family setting and everything, I just know that was so ingrained in my mind in a Calabrese household. All the stuff that we used to do with my Nonna, both my Nonnas and my Nonnos. And then the first time that I went to Calabria, I was 12 years old. And I just felt like I fell in love with the region. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the food. I fell in love with the culture. And ever since then, I've been going back almost every year. I think I only missed like maybe 2 or 3 years that I haven't gone back. But like Calabria for me is the most beautiful place in the world. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. You Calabrese are very prideful people.
yeah, it's
Rightfully so. I feel like any Italian would be.
Anyone who would go and visit Calabria would come back feeling the same way. I hope. But there's just a certain vibe that you get when you're there that I feel like, and I've been to many places in Italy. They're all beautiful, but just for me personally, I don't know if it's because my family's from there. It just stands out and is incredible. So
Yeah. And for anybody who hasn't been there, definitely recommend.
yeah,
I haven't been to
absolutely.
Calabria.
You gotta
yet,
go.
And it's so close.
Let's go together.
Yeah, I know. I would love
Next
to.
time.
With
I'll show you around. So
Calabrese through and through. I
Yeah.
have to. So one thing I want to get into was your Nonni, right?
yes,
So for those who don't know, Frank is a musician. He's an artist.
yeah.
Artist first. Teacher.
teacher.
And now he does some content too here.
Exactly, yeah.
But what I love about you, bro, it reminds me a lot of myself in your work.
Nice.
And I'm not trying to give myself like to my own horn or
No.
act like, oh, I'm Frank Moyo. But I feel like if I was in Canada, I would be doing what you're doing.
Amazing.
Like if I didn't have grown up Italian, I would do something like what you're doing because you're so prideful. You appreciate the culture. You're so in tune with it. You like devote everything to your family, especially your Nonna. And the reason what I wanted to ask you was, you lost your other Nonna, right?
Yeah.
On your which
My
side?
father's side.
Okay, was she from Calabria, like living there, or was she living in Canada?
No, they both lived in Canada.
Okay.
They both moved over when my parents were like under 10 years old.
Okay.
But both my nonnas lived like only a couple blocks away.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome, bro. You grew up with both of them right
I
there.
grew up with all four of my grandparents up until maybe till like 2018 was when my nonno passed away. But I am so blessed, and I just wish that, everyone could experience that. I know it's difficult, but it's part of the way that I am now. It's shaped me into who I am. These values and everything, and promoting Italian-Canadian culture, like it's because I was surrounded by all four of my grandparents, right?
Yeah.
Going back and forth every summer between the houses, and like they were from almost the same town, so they spoke the same dialect, they shared the same values. They were like, all four of them were best friends. They all were always over each other's houses. So like it's kind of rare because sometimes you have grandparents on both sides that are like from different areas, and they don't share the same food and dialect and everything. But that's why I was so like ingrained in this Cosentino-Calabrese culture, because like, all four of my grandparents were from Cosenza.
Right.
Yeah.
And how'd your parents meet? I love this kind of story.
My parents met, I think my dad used to have like an Alfa Romeo, like a GTV, a nice green one.
Yeah.
I think he picked her up. And there's a place called Yorkville in Toronto.
Okay.
It's like a really nice area of the city. And like, I think one of his friends called him up because he was meeting two girls, and my mom happened to be one of the girls. He showed up in that green Alfa Romeo, and I think the rest is history.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny though, because they're from the same town. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of rare, unless in Toronto, in that community, there's a lot of Cosenza.
Yeah, Toronto's full of Calabrese people, like people that came over from Calabria. It's full of it. I think it's probably one of the major regions that's represented in the Italian-Canadian community there.
Right.
So, yeah.
So yeah, the reason I was mentioning your Nonna, and I'm talking about the one that passed her. What was her name?
Finuzza.
Buonanima. Finuzza.
Yes.
Finuzza. Yeah. Because you came out with a song, I believe it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Nonna.
Yes.
Bro, that song, that like hits here for me because
Thank you.
I lost my Nonna in Italy in 2020.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. Thank you. And it was just, I don't know how to explain. That song resonates so much.
Yeah.
Because when I was there, she would give me like everything.
Yeah.
All the love, all the care. And you put that into your music. Like you explain a story that only if you grew up with a Nonna, you could understand that feeling.
Absolutely.
So I played that for my Nonna here in Brooklyn. And like she got so emotional just listening to your words. So bro, nobody's doing what you're doing. Like that's what I really want to give you your flowers. You appreciate everything that was given to you in life. And you're like showcasing it now to the world, so it lives on forever. So,
man, you're making me emotional.
Nah, bro, it's beautiful. You know that song definitely made me cry. You know, I'm gonna be man enough to say that.
No,
it's a
I mean,
song.
I was emotional writing it because, like I mentioned already, like my grandparents played such an incredible, like, crucial role in my life and she passed away. I was in Italy, and she was completely fine. And then I got a call at like 4 a.m. that like she didn't have much long, and she had like a brain tumor or whatever, right? So I was like, damn, all right. So I had to get on the next flight home from Fiumicino. And then whatever, it happened. Then a year after, I was like, you know what? I was just like super like in my feelings and everything. And I wanted to be like, I need to make an ode to my grandparents because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have even started playing music, because I grew up with the radio on in the house. I grew up with all of this, going to the weddings, and like, we'd pull those like chairs out and we'd lie down on the chairs in our pajamas at the end of the wedding, and I'd just be hearing like, Toto Cutugno songs and this and Felicità Albano, Ricchi e Poveri, and like those songs are great. That plus, your family, it's a part of who I am. And then I wrote Nonna, and I wrote Nonna because of what I just mentioned, and everything, all the lyrics in the song just flowed through. It was like, it happened in like 5 minutes. I was like writing it, and it just all came out. And I know that my Nonna was there helping me write that song. Okay, so
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
The lyrics are beautiful. Anybody who didn't listen to it, I guarantee you should listen to it, and you will absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Especially if you understand the Italian language, you'll appreciate it so much.
Yeah, man.
Just like bro, you're talking about like how many times you told me your story, Nonna.
Exactly.
Like, bro, it's so true. Like those are the memories that we're gonna have at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
When this is all said and done.
Yes, man.
Everything that they told us, because we didn't document it, we didn't take videos of them saying this stuff. Like all their stories are what's gonna live on, and you could tell the next generation.
Exactly. Walking to school with my Nonna and everything, it was just that every day I walked to school with my Nonna till I was in like grade 6. So like they'd walk me to school and everything. So that's exactly, and that's what I hope. If I ever have kids one day, I want that to be the same situation with my own mom, right? So because I know like how much of an impact it made on my life, I want it to be the same for my kids. So,
yeah. So seeing your relationship with your grandparents, truly inspiring. That's one that I wish I had, because I had 2 grandparents in Italy.
Wow.
2 grandparents here in America.
Yeah.
One of them, I wasn't even born yet, and he passed away. Okay. So it's just like seeing that dynamic. It's something I definitely long for. But I love what you're doing, because you're also sharing the Calabrese traditions.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You're not just, the way you're doing your social media, I think, is genius.
Thank you, man.
Promote your music, and then you have content, wholesome content with your family.
Thank you.
And you got wholesome content with traditions.
Yeah.
And then you have your own podcast with Nonna.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, who's doing all this effort to make sure that they're keeping their traditions alive?
You know what though? It's a whole lot of effort, and there's not there's no reward really in terms of like, financially or whatever. I just know that I want to keep this alive. I want to make sure that this community stays relevant in the city. It's diminishing, man. It's not, I don't know how it is over here, but the community is getting smaller and smaller every year. And I just want to make sure that we continue to tell these stories, promote family values, promote, Sunday dinner, and like keeping the family together. So like all through this social media and everything, I just use it as a platform to do that. Obviously with my music, I mean, I'm a songwriter through and through. Like that's what I do. And, if people like the music, that's a plus.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's definitely working.
Thank you.
I want to go into Canada a little bit.
Let's do it.
Toronto. What's the situation there? What's
the situation?
What's
I love
the vibes
Toronto.
over there?
It's a beautiful city. I'm so happy to be from Toronto. It's given me so many opportunities. I cannot thank it enough. I'm so happy my grandparents made the decision to move there. Look, if they stayed in Calabria, I probably wouldn't have been born. But if they did, it'd be a completely different situation. Toronto offered my family an opportunity to start from the bottom, work their way up, and create, their own little like paradise that they did. You see in the videos, they have their garden. I can only dream and hope for myself that like when I reach the age of my grandparents, that I have that life of them being in the garden, them doing their own thing. They wake up in the morning, they have coffee together, they go in the garden, they chill. And that's like that's in Toronto. Like they love it. I keep telling them, no, I'm gonna go and meet a girl in Italy, and I'm gonna move to Italy. They're like, if you do that, we're never talking again. She's obviously joking, but like, they work so hard to make sure that their family could benefit in the future. And those sacrifices, man, that's what I promote too. Those sacrifices cannot go unseen.
Of course, yeah.
And anyway, yeah. I love Toronto.
Yeah. So it sounds like instead of being a mama's boy, you're more like a nonna's boy.
I'm a nonna's boy. Everyone on social media, they're like, where's your mom and dad? Like, do you have a mom and dad? I'm like, of course I have a mom and dad. But I mean, I love my mom and dad. I just, my nonna is a very, very particular person. She is basically a Sophia Loren. Okay. Like she's such a natural on the camera and everything. I'm like,
Franje.
Yeah, let her do her thing. And like, I also have a private life too. I mean, I don't want to like share like my whole family.
Yeah, of course.
Keep it to Nonna sometimes Nonna comes on the stair.
Nice little cameo from Nonna.
That's
here
it,
and
right?
there.
They have fun with it. They love it. We were in Calabria last year in Cosenza.
Mate, bro, your content then was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Not to cut you off, but your Nonna's like, oh, this is where, you know, I used to be in the fields
Absolutely.
picking. I'm like, holy, this is
old
what
house,
I grew up
man.
hearing, you know?
In the old house. And like, we actually put a picture to those stories, like in my song, that she would like raccontava, right? Like,
yeah.
Smells good in here.
You know what time it is. We got Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza.
And wings.
Of course, the wings.
The best.
The best.
Guys, listen, we got something really special for you.
By now, you all know Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza has the freshest ingredients. Their coal-fired pizza is absolutely amazing. And they got the Pecorino Romano grated in-house, Gucci.
And the good news is they're located all over the Northeast and Florida. So when you use code GUI15, you get a little discount. Who doesn't like a little discount, right?
Nice. I'll take another pizza to go, please.
All right, well, this one's mine.
I
I'll
guess.
order one more for you.
Only valid for acfp.com online pickup, acfp.com online delivery, ACFP mobile app orders. Guests must enter promo code at checkout to receive discount. Promo code GUI15.
Offer valid starting July 1st. Available at all Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza locations. Cannot be combined with any other offer or Anthony's Reward. Not available for catering, phone orders, dine-in, or third-party delivery orders.
I put a picture, like, this was where my mom sat down while my Nonna was picking whatever, this chicory, I don't know what they were doing. And like, this was the tree that my mom sat under. This was where this happened. I'm like, I actually put a visualization to it, and I got to document it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's so much work.
Yeah.
It's like, sometimes I can't even like enjoy my time there, but like I did it because I knew like I had something I had to do there. There's a calling, I had to do it. I wanted to document it. And it's just like, they're not going to be here forever, dude. So
It's the sad reality, but you're right.
it is. And I want to make sure that we document this, and we make sure that my grandkids are not my kids and grandkids and so on can see, wow, this was my bees Nonna Rita. Like, hopefully, I pray to God they get to meet her.
Right.
But yeah, especially on social media, dude, like I was mentioning before, you got to make sure that you bring this wholesome content out and everything, because there's so much stuff to filter through. Like, every day there's millions and millions of posts, especially with the Nonna stuff. The Nonna stuff has gone off. Like,
Yeah.
like Nonna content and Nonno content. I just want to make sure that like I'm giving it to people in a way that is respectful and they could learn.
Well, what you said is huge. Respectful, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever find like, and I'm pretty sure you do this great and have a nice balance, but I've seen in cases where some people like exploit their grandparents for content.
I don't
think
like it.
I think you have a healthy balance
Yeah.
between like, okay, I just want to relax with you, and you know what, I'll take some content today.
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, I've been seeing it for so long where people will just be like completely just like on their grandmother 24/7. Oh, do this, like do that, do that. Like, no, man, just like,
Yeah.
if they want to do something, they'll do it. And I'm not here to get views. I'm not here to get clicks, likes, whatever you want to call it. Like, if she wants to do something, she does it. She calls me over. She's like, Fra, are we recording something today? I'm like, if you want. She's ready to go. She loves it. I'm like, she doesn't even need me. That's why we did the Nonna Knows Best podcast, because I'm like, you know what? You need your own thing. At some point, I'm just going to remove myself from this, and she's going to have like her own, because she's just too big of a personality for me to control. She's like, she's incredible. But yeah, going back to the Nonna Nonno thing, like, I don't want to exploit her. And I want to keep her to like her regular daily things that she does, because at a certain point, it's going to be like, it changes, because it's like, doesn't seem real anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, finding that balance is big. I hope
For sure.
I hope people don't ever really exploit. I've seen it before, unfortunately, but you know, you definitely keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, man. And also, like, even like sometimes it comes off as though like they're even being made fun of and everything, and I hate that.
I don't know why would people even do that. It makes no sense.
It's like they want to like get no, like say this swear word, say that and this and that, and I'm like, what? I don't understand. I don't get it. I just anyway.
Yeah,
that's me personally.
You know what it is, bro? I think it's just grew up a certain way. You know, you can't really let social media ever influence a decision that you're gonna make.
Absolutely not.
Just because social media wants it, you never cater to that.
No, for sure.
But
so
one thing I noticed, I don't want to make it all about Nonna, as much as they're amazing.
No,
you know?
man.
We're having Frank Moyo on here.
That's it.
I want to go back to the Calabrese real quick.
Let's do it.
So I noticed Calabrians, first and foremost, Capatosto, true or not?
Yeah.
All of them.
We're very...
It's like as hard as that wall.
Absolutely.
But why has that become a thing? Why is that?
I don't know. It could be like folklore that just happened to, set into real life now because it was just said over and over and over again. And like everyone that's from Calabria said, no, I got to be capotuosto, right?
Yeah.
Like I got to be like this. So that's how it is. But in a positive way, right? They don't back down. They're very prideful. As I'm sure like most people from different regions are in Italy, right? So, like I said, it's a beautiful people, beautiful culture. The food's incredible. And like they have a lot to be proud of. Lot to be proud of. So
talk to me about Nduja now. What the hell
I
is
don't
that?
even like it.
No?
I'll be completely honest.
Wow,
I tried it a couple times and I'm like, I don't know. It's become this huge thing through social media. And yes, it's good. It's like a paste, like a picante, like salami paste, right? Like, sure, you spread it on toast and whatever, or un po' di pane, and that's fine. But like for me, like I want a little bit of pecorino. I love pecorino with some soppressata.
That's it.
And that's it, buddy. I don't need the paste. That's fine. And the paste isn't really from where we are in Cosenza. I think it's more south, like towards Reggio. So, but they're proud of it, and it's a huge thing in Calabria. There's also the cipolla rossa in Tropea, which is a huge really like well-known vegetable there. That's very sweet onion, right? So,
and Tropea is this town with the castle on that stairway, or am I thinking of a different one?
It's like it's like that beach town. It's a very
the
popular,
beach one.
There's like the grottos there and everything.
What's the one with the stairs that lead up to like a beautiful castle? Like on the edge of a cliff, pretty much.
In Calabria?
Yeah, and maybe it's not Calabria then.
I don't know.
It might be Sicily.
I don't know. You put me on a spot here, man. They're gonna be like testing my Calabresita here.
No, I'm not trying to do that. So Italians have sauce day.
Yes.
Calabrese have sausage day.
Yeah.
It's that's like your Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, exactly. We do the sauce too. They're doing my grandparents.
No, I know what I'm saying, but the sausage is
sausage,
like
the salsiccia, soppressata. We spend the whole day devoted to it. I've been doing it with my grandparents since like I was a little kid. Every morning, 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
They would buy like 5 or 6 like shoulders, thighs, and we would just go to work. Like imagine telling your friends that weren't Italian, oh yeah, this weekend I woke up at 4 in the morning because we had to chop up a couple pigs to make sausage. And they're, what are you doing? But we love it, and I love
tradition,
it
bro.
Tradition, no matter how it is, I just love doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then another thing I noticed with the Calabrese is like you guys love the ooh.
Oh yeah.
Like
everything.
Like instead of voglio mangiare, it's voglio mangiare.
Voglio mangiare, yeah. Ooh is like that.
Why is it like IU that you guys love that?
I don't know, dude. There's influences. There's so many influences in southern Italy, right? There's influences like there's Arabic influence, there's Greek influence, there's Norman influence. Like Italy, southern Italy, especially Calabria and Greece, they used to call it Magna Grecia. Yeah. So that's where the Greeks used to go. There's like all these incredible remaining temples in Sicily that are like in better shape than in Greece itself. And they used to go there and party, man. The Greeks loved southern Italy, right? So and they even say there's like even Albanian
I believe that.
ancient Albanian influences on the language, especially in Calabria, right? There's a town in Cosenza that still speaks like an Albanian dialect. So drew, we say like a lot of drew at the end of the word, capicua drew, like that. We say, I butcher it. They always make fun of me when I'm in Calabria, but it's nice. So I love the dialect. Yeah. That's why I used to do those things with the Nonna too. Right. The dialect words. Yeah,
no, I love that. And then one of your most recent ones, or I guess what you're doing lately, is you're doing exactly that, sipping espresso in the middle of a music lesson.
Yeah.
So what got into that? Like, how did that all happen with the teaching into content, I guess?
You know what? I was like, one day, I'm like, I've taught Italian like during summer school for a couple of years. And I was like, you know what? I work in an inner city school. They don't get exposed to the Italian language. Seeing as like on social media, Italian stuff is blowing up. And they always talk about it. They say like, sir, what's this and that? I know you're from Italy. Let's just do a lesson. Let's talk about how to pronounce these words properly, right? So the first one I did was we did the pizza song. So we thought, I got them to say all the different toppings on a pizza. And then we made a song about it. I'm like, you know what? This is a pretty good thing we got going on. Okay, I'm going to do this again. So then we did pasta. We did all the different types of pasta, all the shapes. And then we did the cheese song, and then the cheese song went super viral, right? And after that, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to start doing these pronunciations a bit more because, like, people see Italian content, and they're not Italian, these people on social media. They just love the culture. Yeah. But then even as, like, an Italian-Canadian, Italian-American, sometimes you feel embarrassed when you go there and you start speaking. And they shouldn't be that way. Right? You shouldn't have to feel embarrassed when you talk because just like you're saying something wrong and like they love to say, oh, you're saying it wrong. They don't want to correct you though. So this is how you say it. And obviously we have influences, Italian-American dialect, Italian-Canadian words. And sometimes we go there and we speak those words and they're like, what are you talking about?
What are some Italian-Canadian words?
Oh, like ayarda. Like I would say ayarda instead of the l'orto. Yeah. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys say that here,
yeah. So
right?
I was basically taking an English word and,
and just
adding an A.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And then I would go to Italy. Yeah, exactly. O garbiggio, o floro, o carro. Yeah. Right? All these different words. And then I go there as a 12-year-old like talking like this and they're like, what are you?
But that's not our fault, man. That's what our parents,
that's what I mean,
our parents and grandparents taught us.
You know what? Let's set the record straight. This is how you pronounce it. I know obviously you guys got this Italian-American way of speaking as well, which is I think it's beautiful. Yeah. But people got to know the difference between that and Italian.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because if you want to say mozzarella, gabagool, that's completely fine. I think language is a beautiful thing, and I think how it evolves is incredible, and it's a huge representation of the immigration here in America, and it's beautiful, the culture, everything that it signifies, right? Mm-hmm. But when you go to Italy, you speak Italian, speak proper Italian, and you can have the best of both worlds. So that's what I was trying to do with the teaching.
No, you're doing an amazing job, and the reason why I love what you're doing, especially, is because I used to be a teacher, and I was always thinking of ways of like, all right, it's a new generation now. How can I be fun, interactive, and engaging with my students while also having them learn at the same time?
Amazing, man.
And bro, you're doing exactly what I was trying to do. Like, I would think of stupid like songs or rhythms that I would try and incorporate, like activities to make them move.
Exactly.
And bro, music helps that for sure.
Music is personally, I'm a little biased because like I'm a music teacher, but I think it's the best way to learn something, anything, a language, anything in school. If you can use music to teach math, you can use music to teach science. Yeah. And it's just like a melody, a harmony, is ingrained in a kid's brain. That's why I use like nursery rhymes and I just put some Italian words into it, and like it's ingrained. It's the same thing with all these like little kid shows and everything. It's the same repetition. And you know what? These kids that aren't even Italian are gonna be speaking better Italian than most Italians in Canada. So it's like,
it starts somewhere.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't even have to be Italian, like you said.
Yeah.
But music definitely helps, because I remember I was in high school and I was taking biology. I had no idea what I was doing. I had a big biology test. I was searching on YouTube. It was like photosynthesis.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever take biology in high school or no?
Math and science, I went the complete opposite way. I didn't even bother.
Did you take biology pick?
I know photosynthesis though.
Yeah. So anyways, I look up photosynthesis song. Bro, this song I could still remember.
There you go, man.
And it helped me pass the test.
Perfect. That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah. So it's like just you seeing your content and how you're they're going to remember those songs.
Yeah, man.
Or the words, I should say.
Yeah.
Probably for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like that'll stick for a while.
For sure. You know? I was teaching Italian school this summer, and like all the kids were like, sir, could we sing the cheese song? Could we sing the pizza song? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Every morning we would say like the buongiorno song, because like we would say buongiorno. Everyone would say buongiorno to each other and say their names out and everything, and they loved it. It was just a fun way to learn a language. Yeah. So.
And you're fueled by espresso? You have like 15, right?
Absolutely. 15? No, come on, man.
Bro, you're sipping in between lessons.
They're like, I'm sipping on one cafe. This is one cafe.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I refill it a couple times, but it's just one. I love coffee.
Yeah.
I think espresso, cafe, whatever you want to call it, is a gift from Italy to the world. So,
yeah. No Spro for you, huh?
Spro?
Yeah.
I mean, in Toronto, some people say Spro.
Do you ever say
whatever.
Spro? Like if you go into a bar or
Let's
cafe?
get a Spro. Yeah, I mean, it's popped out of my mouth sometimes. I'll just say like
all
an
right.
espresso.
So you
or
fell
coffee.
victim to the
part,
Spro.
It's part of the culture there.
Don't let it
right?
win, bro. Don't let it win.
What do you guys call it?
Espresso.
Espresso, yeah.
What's up, guys? It's the Growing Up Italian boys. And if you have an ancestor that was born in Italy, you may be eligible for dual citizenship.
Listen, the Italian passport has a 100% success rate in helping people obtain their Italian citizenship, like I have right here, from the very start of the process up until the end with the final application.
You can check for eligibility at theitalianpassport.com/growingupitalian. If you mention us, you might get a little discount. Crispy, crunchy, savory, and sweet. Order what you want on Uber Eats.
Listen, guys, from now till the end of the year, December 31st, on the Uber Eats app, you go to Anthony and Sampanini shop, and you get a nice $25 off.
When you use the code Panini.
You got to use the code Panini.
Terms apply. See app for details.
Man, I could really go for a drink or something.
Me too. What are you in the mood for?
I don't know, an espresso martini, something. What you got?
Say no more. Born in the north end of Boston, Brico Restaurant. It's already made espresso martini. All you have to do is chill and serve.
Shake, serve, and drink that out of the comfort of your own home.
Salute.
Don't let it win, please.
No, I won't. I'll try my best not to.
I'd rather cafe, like the Italian
Let's
way.
just stick to cafe.
Yeah.
Let's go to the bar and let's just say, can I have a cafe? And no matter how many times they look at you weird, you continue. If you got to sing a song about it, you sing a song about it.
Song.
But we're saying cafe from now on, okay? We're saying cafe from now on at the bar. That's how we order coffee. Canada and America.
The problem with America is you'll get a American coffee if you ask for
No,
that.
if you say cafe, it's different. If you say
Coffee?
cafe or whatever, latte or whatever, then no, we're not doing that. So
that's a tougher one. I think we might have to go back to Spro.
yeah,
honestly.
okay, whatever, dude. You didn't want it.
Nah, I'm kidding. But talking about your music now, I've noticed recently, especially, I feel like there is some Calabrese influence going around.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
There's a viral song. Ti faccio complimenti a tua mamma. But that's a Calabrian guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's recent too, no?
Yeah, it's I think like
Or is it taken from an old song?
I think a Napolitan guy was singing it as well. That made it pretty big. But it is, I don't quote me on this.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's a Calabrese song.
Yeah.
Like folk song.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Calabria is blowing up as it should.
Yeah.
Especially with how incredible social media is. If you use it in the right ways, you can do wonders with it. If you use it negatively, you could do the same.
Of course.
Right? So like with Calabria and it getting the respect that it finally deserves, I think that even with these old songs, like I do like these concerts with my Nonna sometimes, and we do the old Calabrese folk songs. There's one song, the Chucho Mio, right? So like talking about the old Chucho, the old donkey. And then my Nonna would do like the donkey sound. And everyone bursts out laughing and they love it. It's an incredible, like there was so many like old parts of like the old times in Italy, like the Chucho, that was an important way to get around.
Of course,
Upecuraro, the guy with the sheep, the sheep herder. Quadraro, the guy that went from town to town to clean everyone's pots. You needed your pots clean, or else you weren't making no sugo, right? All those little different people all combined, part of a community and are part of a culture that cannot die. And that's why, I want to bring these songs back and everything.
Yeah. And I think with today's generation, with TikTok too,
yeah,
the old songs are kind of, they're slowly coming back.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they're fully coming back,
man.
but like Calabrese la Mia.
Yeah,
you'll
I
see a
love
couple
that
videos in there too, you know.
And I started in during COVID doing like pulled back like acoustic renditions of these songs. I did like one of the main songs was Calabria Mia, Mino Raitano, like the epitome of Calabria in a song. It is an incredible song, and I did like a acoustic version of it. It kind of went viral. People brought me out to come and sing it in Italy. I did it in Calabria last year.
It's amazing.
Because not many people remember these songs. But then when they hear it, they're like, oh my gosh. Then it like clicks in their head, right?
So what's if for people who don't know you, what's the feel that you're going for in your music? Like, how can you best explain what you're doing right now and what you're trying to do? I guess is what I have.
So,
and is there a market for it?
I mean, I the way it's been going, there's a market for it. I'm not trying to do anything other than be myself.
Love it.
I am just showcasing my life, like what I grew up with, what I do, the things with my Nonna. I do that. I was doing it before I started recording her. I just happened to put it on now. The things with teaching Italian, I'm a teacher. And my music, I'm a songwriter. I'm a singer-songwriter. Obviously, I have my English music. I have some songs in English and Italian, Toronto to Milano. You were singing that before. Okay. And I'm just trying to mesh the two worlds together. If it works, it works. If not, I don't really care because it's who I am and it's what I'm trying to put out onto the world. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, the fact that you just said that answers my next question. I was going to say, you feel like the Italian stuff kind of like boxes you in just because we have a page called Growing Up Italian. And I can see how it can hurt sometimes to not be more general, but at the same time, like I love doing this.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I'd rather be doing. So I feel like if you just love what you do, then in a sense, it'll pay its dividends.
You know what though? I think there's a little part of everyone that wants to be Italian. All right. So I'm like, you know what? I don't feel boxed in.
Yeah.
I don't like it's a niche, of course, because like you're singing in Italian and everything. But for me, it's a passion and I love doing it. Like, I mean, I have, like I said, songs in English and I have songs in Italian. So.
No, but I want to know like the Frank Moyo that's not on camera. So
yeah, okay.
What are you doing that people don't see? You working out, you play any sports?
Well, you're
a comedian?
No, I'm not a comedian. No, absolutely not. But I mean, I'm very chill, man. Like people like they'll see me and they'll talk to me like if I'm going out or whatever, and they'll be like, "Wow, you're like super chill." I'm like, yeah, I'm chill. Like I don't know. Like on my spare time, like I've been boxing for like 3 years. I love boxing.
It's a great workout.
It's an incredible workout. I got to shout out my gym, Jungle. They have helped me so much with just like honing in on being a boxer and everything. It's a mental game, man. It completely changes your perspective on being in your head. Cause like you gotta calm down. Like when we spar, right? If you're anxious and if you're breathing heavy and everything, you're gonna get knocked out. You gotta like hone in on your breath and you gotta just like basically like the world stops. So like, and you use that in any aspect of your life. When I'm writing music, when I'm playing a show, it's that same thing over and over again. So that's why I love boxing. I write music.
Play video games or anything?
I was playing during COVID, but I was honestly with my cousins in Italy. We were on Call of Duty like every day.
Yeah.
Every single day. Warzone.
Yeah.
They were ripping it. And I was playing Warzone in Calabrese. We were like going in like, spada.
C'è un piccerito là, vai.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, but after that, I was like, nah, you know what? I want to just focus on my stuff. And
yeah, it takes a lot of time out of your day.
Yeah, man. I'm in my 30s now. I just turned 31.
You're looking good, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. And I just want to make sure that with this little time that we have on this earth, I'm taking advantage of every day.
Yeah.
And that's why keeping healthy, even though I live on my Nonna street. That's the thing. People say, "Do you live with your Nonna? Where are you, Nonna's boy?" No, I live in my own place, but we live on the same street.
Yeah.
And I walk over and I have coffee with them in the morning. I make a point before I go to work, before I go to school to teach, I drive. My Nonna's waiting on the veranda for me, man. At 7 in the morning. She opens the door for me. She makes me my coffee. I have a coffee with me, my Nonna, and my Nonna, and I go to work. Because, yeah, it's incredible to be with them, but I know how much it benefits them to have me there. Because there's so many Nonni that, kids don't go on purpose, but they just can't go and visit their grandparents. They have this we're so busy in our lives that we can't really make time to do it. But they they need it. They need that. They need that connection with their grandkids, with their kids. They need to feel as though they're a part of something, or else there's a lot of cases where these nonni they get depressed, man. Especially when they lose a partner. That's even worse. So like that's why I want to go there, and we chill, man. We're like best friends. Me and my grandparents. We chill. We play cards. We talk. She asked me, "Where's your girlfriend?
Married?
Where's your girlfriend?" I'm like, "Nonna, when I bring the girl home, that's who I'm marrying.
Yeah.
I haven't brought a girl home.
Never.
I've never brought a girl.
31 years on this earth, not one.
And I'm not gonna bring
bro. You're so old school, man.
No, I'm not
amazing.
gonna. And if I go single my whole life, I don't care. But I am not bringing a girl home until I know 1,000,000% that that's the person I'm gonna marry. And I'm sorry, mom, but the first person she's gonna meet is my nonna. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe
okay,
it.
and that's how it is. I don't care. People say,
Damn, bro.
Like if I go on a date and I say like, yeah, no, I've never brought a girl home. Red flag. I don't care.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like.
But for one girl, it's gonna be a green flag, you know.
Absolutely.
But
I mean,
bro, that's crazy though, because I'm just thinking like, there's so much pressure on that girl.
Nah.
If you bring her home that first time, it's like, yo, this has got to be you. Like, it has to be now, you know?
Yeah, but I also don't, like, I've obviously had girlfriends and everything, and I'm not bringing a girl home after 2 months.
Yeah.
It's going to be...
So what do you hang out? You go to the movies every day?
I got my own place, man. I'm my own guy. Like, I'm 31. I'm not...
I forgot you had your own place.
Yeah, like, not even that. Like, we did. There's beautiful restaurants in Toronto.
Yeah,
Have you been?
I've never been to Toronto.
You got to go. And you got to hit me up when you go.
Yeah,
because Toronto...
When I'm there next, for sure.
Toronto has some incredible restaurants. Toronto and Montreal.
Yeah.
Both cities, I don't know, like, some people say there's a beef or whatever. I think, like, both cities have incredible things to offer in terms of being Italian-Canadian.
Yeah.
The culture and everything. Like, Montreal people are incredible. Toronto people are incredible. You got to go. You got to go.
Sabino and LePic love Toronto.
Yeah,
They've been there.
It's a great city.
How's the pizza in Toronto? Does the job?
Pizza's good. I mean, I don't know. I'm super picky with my pizza. I like pizza like Napolitan style. I like it like
brick oven, margherita.
Yeah, but a little like undercooked in the middle. Like I love that style.
So you hate New York slice, is what you're telling me?
I love all pizza, dude.
Yeah.
Like I like Brooklyn whatever pizza or New York style. I don't know. I was in Chicago. I didn't have Chicago style.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That deep dish is crazy.
Yeah, we have Toronto's amazing because we have everything, every culture, every style of pizza, and he's been right, like, and like you get to attest to it, right? Because like Toronto is just that one city that it's a one-stop shop for everything.
Yeah.
And I think the people are great.
Yeah.
So.
How are the neighborhoods out there? Like, I know when Italy won the Euros 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Woodbridge was going nuts.
Woodbridge, yeah.
Was it Market Lane?
Market Lane.
Yeah. So that's a scene.
So yeah, I mean, Woodbridge is okay. So this is a funny fact, and I always use this. I think at one point it had the most Ferraris per capita in the world. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
That just goes to show.
Yeah,
you,
I can already tell what kind of neighborhood it is.
So but in any city, I mean, like it started off at like St. Clair and Dufferin, College Street, and then once time passed, people just started moving north and north and north, and Woodbridge is north of. It's in the GTA.
Yeah.
I grew up at an intersection called Keele and Lawrence, between there, Dufferin and Eglinton, and then Woodbridge. I went to high school in Woodbridge, and there's a bunch of Italians. There's there's stereotypes about it, but I think Woodbridge is an incredible town, city, whatever you want to call it. It's part of Vaughan. There's beautiful, I love it. I love where I'm from. I want to represent it as best as I can.
Why, it gets a bad rep, you're saying?
No, I don't think it gets a bad rep, but if I'm dating, even if I'm dating there and they're like, oh, you must be from Woodbridge. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Not kind of, but I mean, there's this. Is
it like you're too
this
Italian?
Kind of bro. Jersey Shore.
Okay.
That's probably the vibe there that people probably would get. Yeah, that kind of thing. Because that's where it's condensed there. It's like this town.
Gotcha.
But it's so much more than that. It's like it's bakeries. It's restaurants. It's everything. Like you can go in certain parts there and just speak Italian.
Yeah.
And you'll get by.
Is there
that's
beef?
How Italian is it?
Is there beef with the Portuguese people out there?
Growing up there probably was, but I mean,
There's a lot of Portuguese too.
there's a ton of Portuguese, and Portuguese culture is beautiful as well. Like, I don't know why there's a beef, but like they were fighting the construction spots, you know, like Italians had construction, and then the Portuguese came.
That's funny, man.
And yeah, so, but we're both immigrants, like kids of immigrant families, Portuguese and Italian. We share so many similarities. The beef was from like the Euros, World Cup, and everything. You know, Portugal, then this and all the like the smack talk and everything, right? But nah, man, there's only love there.
Yeah.
So.
We're very excited to announce a long-term partnership with De Soto Gastronomia out from Australia. These guys got a really, really interesting restaurant concept where all their profits go to all these Italian charities.
De Soto has a very interesting story. So they're first generation Italian Australians.
They're basically us in Australia.
De Soto was created in their parents' and grandparents' honor so that they can pay their legacy forward. 100% of their proceeds goes to people in need, charities, and the arts.
De Soto will be supporting us this year, so you know the content's going to be even better.
Bro, and who knows? Maybe at some point we're going to have to take a trip down under, huh?
I was always curious how the Italian Australians made food.
It's time we find out. Like you're such a young guy, but like an old soul.
Yeah,
you know what
man.
I mean? You ever get that?
Yeah, all the time.
You're so like you're very wise for your age.
I just told you I never brought a girl home. So like that goes to show you that I don't know, basically. But
are you on the prowl or are you just like content?
I'm single, man. I'm chilling. If it happens, it happens.
What's like a nice way for you to make it happen? What's like a ideal situation for you to meet somebody? A nice DM will do the trick, or
I don't know. I get DM'd. I don't really like.
Not a DM guy?
Not really. I mean, I want to meet someone naturally, man. I want to meet someone like
at a wedding, you know. Like,
sure, at a wedding.
Go talk to Frank.
But it's not. It's difficult, especially today. Like there's this whole social media and everything, and it's basically like a dating app.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
Yeah, but yeah, one day we'll see what happens.
What happens.
I'm chilling, man. I'm focusing on my work. I'm focusing on this.
Yeah, that's what you have to, man.
I'm trying to be the best version of myself before I get involved with someone, because like people get involved with people for sometimes the wrong reasons. And I just want to know that I'm at the top of my game before I introduce someone else into my life.
It's like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. Some people say, no, you need someone to help you get there. I'm like, nah, I could do it myself. But some people are different. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need someone. But I think right now,
you're locked in.
I'm locked in. I got tunnel vision, and I manifest. I manifest everything that's happening. I thought about, and I knew that was like, not that I'm some freaking wizard or whatever, but like I knew that if I put my head to it, and it goes with anything in life, if you put your head towards a thought or a goal or a dream, it will happen if you have the willpower to do it.
Yeah, you're so right.
You know,
I remember, how long ago did you start this? Was it during COVID?
It was like during COVID, a bit after, when it started to roll a bit more. But yeah,
because I've been looking at your stuff for a while, and it's just amazing because it shows you what consistency can do.
Absolutely,
it's not like every post is going to be a home run. You know what I mean? Like you were just consistent, and you finally got rewarded. I feel. And rewarded in the sense of your content always has been great.
Yeah.
But the numbers are now there. You know what I mean? So that always helps and helps book shows.
Yeah, exactly, for shows and everything. And I mean, like I'm still like, I'm not even close to where I want to be at. And hopefully at this time, maybe even next year, maybe even when I come back, I'll be at a completely different stage in my life. But yeah, exactly what you said. Consistency is key, and I see it. I see the struggle on social media. I see it. Like it is so disheartening sometimes when you see other people, you know, going up, and you're still there. But like, it's part of life, man. You got to keep in your own lane.
Focus on yourself. That's what's gonna make you better.
Wish the best for people.
That's tough. Okay. For Italians, that's tough, man.
You have to.
Because there's people that want to see you go down more than up.
You can't be like that, because karma, and there's community. And it's community in a sense that it's like, you don't got to be doing like, you're not collaborating with everyone and everything, but like, even just like being nice, like being positive to people and not commenting on stuff and being rude and everything. It's just, you want to see people succeed in life. This is your people. I see all these videos. Like, the people you're alive with right now are your people that you are living with, and you want to create a community that's positive with all this bullshit that's going on in the world.
Yeah, of course.
With the means that we have with social media, it is so important to keep positivity alive and not be an asshole.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you've been doing too.
Yeah.
Your content, all your content is positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we've been trying to do our whole
Yeah.
lives, or since 8 years
Yeah,
ago,
man, for sure.
8 years ago when we started growing up Italian. That was a focal point, to make sure that everything's positive.
Yeah, man.
Putting out an agenda that's, for everybody, that, you just come to the page for comedic relief or whatever it is, to smile, have a good time.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
You don't want to promote controversy or political
No.
stuff. Like, there's no reasons for that,
No.
and there's no place for that on social media.
No.
I think on our platform, at least.
Yeah.
But with Italians, I feel like it's always like a competition. Like, all right, you're doing those numbers. Like, okay, why am I not doing those numbers? So you start hating on the person, and you start, instead of like trying to uplift them and support them, you're kind of like looking down on them.
You gotta be creative though, dude.
Yeah, of course.
You can't just sit here and be like, oh, why isn't this happening? Because it's just, you're not doing something that's like new or fresh, or like, look, I was like, when I did the songs in Italian, I was doing that, and then it's like, if you're just gonna like continue with the same stuff that's out there and expect the same results, it's not gonna happen. You gotta just hone in on it. And sometimes it takes a force of like magic or whatever, or like, I don't know. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But you can't expect to be doing the same thing like everyone else and expect to be rewarded with all this, people watching your stuff and everything. Like, and I'm positive with my stuff too, because I know my students watch my stuff. So I want to make sure that I'm setting an example for them. I know their parents watch. And it's like, if I had a kid, I want my teacher up here, like spreading hate or spreading like stupidity, right? So like, I want to be a good role model for them and maybe my kids in the future. So, I can't even imagine for a parent, like, there's so much stuff that kids are exposed to these days that it's nice to have profiles like yours, profile like mine, that just spread happiness.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? So
that's what we're trying to do, and I love it the most because it helps me meet people like you.
Exactly.
Like, if it wasn't for social media or the platform,
absolutely,
there's no way we would have crossed paths. You know what I mean? Maybe I pulled up to one of your shows somehow.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. But even with my music, it wouldn't even been going the way it has been without social media. Social media is the most beautiful thing that's happened, I think.
Love it or hate it.
No,
it's a useful tool.
It is, and it's used. No, it's not even just social media. It's like every major brand and every major like media outlet has to be on social media now, or else they're irrelevant.
True.
Okay? There's that pivot where it's like, if they don't got a page, if they're not posting, no one knows what's going on. Who watches TV anymore? Who's going to watch? Like, my mom watches it in the morning or whatever, but like, no one's watching. You're on your phone. You're getting all your information from your phone.
Sure.
And it's like, this is just the beginning. These reels, these videos, it's just the beginning of something that is going to be here for a long, long time. So you might as well get with it now, or else, you're going to be out of it. So
there's one question that I hate, but I always have to ask. Tell me, where do you see Frank Moyo 5 years? What are you going to manifest in 5 years? Time.
I want to be in a villa in Italy.
Me too.
Absolutely. With a beautiful wife and 5 kids.
Maritado. 5 kids. I mean, you got to get to work. You got to get to work.
I got to start.
Unless you get twins
5.
or triplets.
I'll start with 1 for now, but I want to be even happier than I am right now.
You want a simple life. That's all you want.
I want a farm, bro. I want to live on a farm with goats, sheep, whatever, like horses, all this. Not horses. I'm actually really allergic to horses. Not that. But
that's funny.
Like cows, pigs. I want it all. And like, when I go to my uncle's place in Calabria, and like, I wake up with him at 5 a.m, he comes and wakes me up. I say, pronto. Andiamo.
Time to get to work?
Time to go, man.
So you're basically
we let the capre out and everything. They go. They got those little.
You
bows.
live off the land. He
gives me his sopressata that he makes, and you eat like one slice of that, and you'll never look at soppressata the same. I'm not even like gonna hate on the stuff that we make at home, but it's like it's a completely different thing when you're growing. You're feeding this animal. You know exactly what went into this animal's body.
Yeah.
There's nothing more pure than that. You could be vegan, whatever. I'm not vegan. I eat everything, but there's just something about growing your own food, growing your own vegetables. That's why there's such an emphasis with me on the garden, like growing everything from scratch in your own home backyard. If you have the means to do it, is the best thing you could do. So yeah, in 5 years, I want to have the farm, beautiful villa in Calabria, pool, and I want to be able to just live writing music. That's what I want. That's the dream.
Yeah, I love that for you. For you especially, I can definitely see that.
Thank you,
And the
man.
right way to start is you got to stay in Calabria for 6 months, my man. That's the only way.
I got to find a Calabrese
That's really what I learned.
Donna, okay? And then if I can't even, I can't get
I don't think it could be anybody but a
Calabrese.
Calabrese either. It's like,
I mean,
you're enamored with the...
Italian women are beautiful, man. Italian women are incredible. And there's beautiful songs, the older songs like Nicola Di Bari and all, Toto Cutugno. They all sing about these beautiful women. You know, Dante, I've got him tattooed on me. All of his major poems are based off of Beatrice, his love, the love of his life. If it wasn't for women, because he created the Italian language, we might not even be speaking Italian. Okay, so yeah, I think the role of the woman in Italy as a wife, as a mother, as a nonna is so important, especially for a young man growing up. It's like, yeah, people make fun you're a mama's boy. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Like your relationship with your mother, with the women in your life is incredible. If you're not a mama's boy, there's an issue. Okay. No?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So, like, obviously there's an extent. If you're still with them at 40 or 50 or whatever, and you're still not doing anything and you're not working or whatever, then maybe there's an issue.
When did you move out? How old were you?
I was like 26.
26, and it's down the block?
It's down the block from my Nonna.
Oh, okay.
But my parents live in Woodbridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then how about the tattoos? When did those come into play?
When I was like 19, I started doing the tattoos.
What did Nonna say?
I've been getting lots of flack for it recently. I don't know.
Really? No,
like,
those are nice.
No, but I studied at the University of Toronto. I studied Italian history and archaeology. Okay, I spent 2 months in Rome one summer digging in Ostia Antica, and I got a couple tattoos and everything. After that, I was so in love with because tattoos in Italy are a big thing, and I saw everyone having them there, and I'm like, those look so nice, and it's just putting a piece of me on my body as a representation. I got San Francesco di Paola, our patron saint in Calabria, on my shoulder. My nonna was like pretty upset, but she was like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. But then I started getting all this other stuff, and this is the 9 muses. I love Greek mythology. She's like, stop, eh? My nonno, when he sees me with canottiera, he's like, can't even say anything. He just gives me that look. I'm like, what are you gonna do, man? It's there. You gotta deal with it.
It's a good look for you.
Thank you
for what it's worth. You know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think I'm done though. So
that's it. Yeah, you say that now. I don't even have. I don't have any ink.
But I have figs coming down my arm here. I have figs. I have camomilla. What else do I have? I have olives.
Bro, you're so Italian, bro.
I have olives going down. Okay, I love this. I want it all coming. I want a whole orto.
I thought you just say you're gonna stop.
No, I'm not now. So,
listen, Frank, thank you so much for coming on. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No, not really. I mean, other than just with whatever you do in life, if it's you being Italian, do it properly, do it with love, do it with sincerità, and that's it. And nothing can go wrong for you. Okay, you got to be honest. You got to be the best version of yourself, and you got to be true to yourself. If you're not true to yourself, people are gonna see right through that.
Make sure you guys go check him out. Frank Moyo Music on all platforms.
Thank you.
Go to one of his shows. Support a fellow Italian, fellow Calabrese. And until next time, bello. Ci vediamo.
Thank you for having me. Ciao.